Hello, Hogwarts Sextet. I hope everybody had a pretty good week. A lot happened last week, fandom and greater world both. They released the first trailer for Deathly Hallows Part 2. I hope you guys all watched it. It's kind of unbelievable. I get chills every time I watch it, and I've shown it to pretty much everyone I know. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty intense movie. I'm really excited to see it, but I'm still very glad that I have 2.5 months to prepare myself, because I'm still not ready. In fact, I probably won't even be ready when I'm sitting in the theater at LeakyCon with all of you guys. So I might need some emotional support afterwards. I'm sure we all will, but also, I think Saturday night, the people who brought us A Very Potter musical and A Very Potter sequel released their most recent musical, Starship. I actually got to see Starship opening night in Chicago, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to watching it again. I got the soundtrack, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But it's a really good show, so if you guys have a spare 4 hours, which I'm sure none of us do, because some of us seem to be missing some posts, but, you know, you should check it out. It's worth a look. In other news, obviously, the biggest news last night was that the U.S. had caught and killed Osama bin Laden, and there's been a lot of kind of debate following about whether or not people should be happy about this. I mean, I guess whether or not people should be celebrating. Because afterwards, people were in the streets in D.C. and New York cheering, shouting, chanting USA, singing the national anthem. And I think my brother actually brought up that it reminded him a lot of the first chapter of Sorcerer's Stone, when all the wizards are celebrating the death of Voldemort with the fireworks and, you know, gatherings in the streets, and they're not even really caring about the, you know, the Secrecy Act. It really kind of is remarkable how applicable the Harry Potter universe is to our real life. It's kind of another example of how brilliantly J.K. Rowling wrote these stories, because there's constantly things that happen in our daily lives that we can apply these stories and kind of look at them in a different way. It also is really coincidental that Osama bin Laden was killed the day before Voldemort died. Today is the 13th anniversary of the Battle of Hogwarts and the death of Voldemort, so happy Wizarding Independence Day. But there's been a lot of people who have kind of come out and said it's not appropriate to be celebrating, and no matter what, you know, human life should be treasured, and I agree with that, but I think that there is such a thing as good and evil in the world, and when someone who's committed such horrendous acts and such evil is killed, I don't think there's anything wrong with being happy that that person can no longer commit such acts of horror. I mean, I'm not running out in the streets and celebrating and cheering, but I think there's nothing wrong with being happy that that person is gone. And in response to that, our very own Melissa Anniversary posted a quote that I thought was very applicable to this entire situation. So I'm just going to read that, and maybe tell me what you think. Voldemort was dead, killed by his own rebounding curse, and Harry stood with 2 wands in his hand, staring down at his enemy's shell. 1 shivering second of silence, the shock of the moment suspended, and then the tumult broke around Harry as the screams and cheers and roars of the watchers rent the air. The fierce new sun dazzled in the windows. So, I really don't think that there's anything wrong with being happy that such a person who's committed such horrible acts is gone. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sorry that this is kind of a more serious video, but I think it's something that is going on in the world, and it is worth talking about. So let me know what you guys think, and I promise next week I'll come back with something really funny and silly. So that would be my challenge for next week. I'll do a really silly video to counteract the seriousness of this one. So until then, I hope you guys are having a really great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.